Visits Los Angeles amid an ongoing crackdown on illegal immigration.
What happened here was a tragedy. It was necessary to send the National Guard to stop that process.
What he's calling for following a tour of federal facilities.
Today, we got a first-hand look at the opening of a border tunnel running into the U.S. More on why Border Patrol says, don't even try it.
Today is Refugee Day, and local faith leaders went inside the federal building to support immigrant families.
A deadly shooting investigation leads to a massive police presence in Kearny Mesa. I'll explain.
The city of San Diego wants to close 7 lakes around the county for 1 additional day per week.
CBS 8 News live at 6 starts right now. We get tonight with breaking news out of Coronado, where there are reports of a car in the water at the Silver Strand.
This is a live look at the scene. This is just off Coronado Bay Road. I think it's near the Lowe's Resort, just off the 75. You can see divers in the water right now.
We understand from our crew on the scene bringing us this live picture that witnesses do say that a vehicle was in the water. There was some sort of rescue effort. And our crew on the scene is also reporting there appears to be what could be a body underneath a tarp there, but we do not have any confirmation as to what happened with this vehicle in the water right now.
And we're not sure if there is a vehicle in the water. We believe there is. If there is more than one person in that vehicle, they've recovered what appears to be a person. There's a tarp over that, but we are waiting to get much more confirmed information. We don't want to speculate too much on this. So stay with CBS 8 for the very latest on this story.
We will have any updates posted on our website, cbs8.com. You can also follow us on social media or download our free CBS 8 app.
Our other top story tonight, Vice President J.D. Vance is in Southern California right now amid the Trump administration's ongoing enforcement actions cracking down on illegal immigration. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. The vice president touched down in Los Angeles a few hours ago. Few details were revealed about his trip, but the White House said the vice president toured a multi-agency federal joint operations center, a federal mobile command center, and met with leadership and Marines. After those visits, Vance spoke alongside federal officials, where he defended the federalization of California's National Guard troops. He also accused Governor Newsom and LA leaders for helping fuel the violence against federal law enforcement.
When he encourages people to get in the face of our great Border Patrol officers, he is absolutely endangering the lives of federal enforcement. He's absolutely endangering the lives of mothers and daughters and fathers and sons who have been sent here to do a simple thing: enforce the law.
Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass fired back at the vice president's accusations in a news conference just about a half hour ago. We will share some of her remarks in our next half hour. The vice president's visit comes as a federal appeals court finds President Trump can maintain control of California's National Guard.
The decision was announced last night. The court unanimously ruled that the president likely lawfully used his authority to federalize control of the Guard without a governor's permission. President Trump called the decision a big win, adding that this ruling is bigger than just the situation in California. Governor Gavin Newsom says that the state plans to continue to challenge, quote, President Trump's authoritarian use of U.S. military soldiers against citizens. And faith leaders from across San Diego are showing their support for immigrants as the Trump administration continues its novel approach to enforcement. They gathered at the Cathedral of St. Joseph in downtown San Diego today for a special mass in honor of World Refugee Day. That's today. Those leaders then went to support migrants with scheduled hearings at the federal building. But at one point, security threatened to not let any families inside the building unless members of the media left the area. CBS 8's Regina Yorita was there and will show us that and share reaction from faith leaders coming up at 6:30. And tonight we're getting a closer look at what's being called a sophisticated drug tunnel between the U.S. and Mexico.
CBS 8's Alex Cheney got a first-hand look at one of the entry points and joins us live now with a look inside the tunnel. Alex?
Yeah, that's right. Border Patrol actually drove us between the border fences today and took us to exactly where they found that cross-border drug tunnel.
A great find for San Diego sector as a whole. and we're able to put this drug tunnel to an end.
Border Patrol told us that they have to drill down into the ground. This one went 50 feet into the ground to find the opening of what they say is a very sophisticated border tunnel. The tunnel at its highest point was 48 inches high and 28 inches wide, with lighting, ventilation, and a rail car system to transport drugs and other illegal goods. Upon entry, agents also encountered multiple makeshift barricades which were placed by the tunnel workers to impede the agents' progress and the identification of the tunnel's origin. The Border Patrol tunnel team made their descent into the tunnel not knowing what they'd find.
There could be booby traps. Who knows what's going on in these tunnels when agents first make entry. So safety is paramount, but it's imperative that they make entry into these tunnels and construct a full mapping of its length.
The tunnel was still under construction when agents found it. The tunnel stretched nearly 3,000 feet between a house in Tijuana and made it 1,000 feet into the U.S. before agents found it. The tunnel team projected an exit point in a commercial warehouse area in the desert around Otay Mesa, but never made it there. Border Patrol agents say it was created by a well-funded Mexican crime organization, and agents worked with Mexican police to find the tunnel.
Given the sophistication of this tunnel, it was conducted by a foreign terrorist organization. Now, this organization is highly organized, highly funded, and you can see that with the lengths that they put into this tunnel.
Border Patrol's message is simple: don't try it.
To the people that are constructing these, simply don't do it. They're endangering people, and they're constructing these tunnels to effectively move drugs, dangerous drugs, into the United States and potentially other devices and other things that could harm Americans.
Border Patrol agents will now pour concrete into the tunnel to seal it off for good. San Diego Sector Border Patrol said that since 1993, they have found 95 of these cross-border tunnels as the fight against the stream of illegal drugs into the U.S. continues. Reporting live from the Otay Mesa point of entry, I'm Alex Cheney, CBS 8.
Incredible find, and good to hear that it wasn't yet complete, so hopefully they stopped it before any drug smuggling was taking place. Thanks, Alex. San Diego police are looking for the gunman who shot 2 people outside of a hookah lounge in Kearny Mesa, killing one of them.
That shooting happened around 4:40 this morning on Claremont Mesa Boulevard. CBS 8's Shannon Handy has been on scene all day. She shares the very latest in the investigation.
Investigators have been combing the parking lot outside the Nara Ultra Lounge all day long. They've been busy collecting evidence, looking for surveillance footage, and interviewing witnesses. In fact, we were here this morning when additional officers showed up and detained a number of people for questioning. Our camera was rolling outside the Nara Ultra Lounge in Kearny Mesa today when San Diego police officers escorted at least 7 people outside, putting them in handcuffs. It happened hours after a deadly shooting here. Investigators say the lounge was hosting an event when an altercation broke out in the parking lot. 2 people were shot, a 21-year-old Hispanic man and a 37-year-old black woman. The male victim died from his injuries. The female was treated and released.
This morning was just unexpected, you just think, Friday, busy day, and then they tell you that you're going to be closed for the whole day when we're 24 hours.
Hector Castaneda and his family own Castanedas. It's in the same shopping center where the shooting happened. His employees called him after the shooting, telling him they had to shut down, and police were asking for their surveillance footage. When Hector arrived, there were shell casings all over the parking lot.
Did your cameras catch anything?
They got some stuff, but they have that information, you know what I mean?
The restaurant did reopen, but the drive-thru remained closed throughout the day. The massive police presence slowed traffic on Claremont Mesa Boulevard and had a lot of people in the area concerned.
We don't need any more of this pain and suffering. It's bad enough, but I'm so sad to hear that.
Police have only described the gunman as black, saying he left in an unknown vehicle. As for the people detained, STPD's acting lieutenant told me they could be suspects, witnesses, or victims, adding they're working through that currently. The names of the victims have not been released. We will share more information as soon as it becomes available. Reporting from Kearny Mesa, I'm Shannon Handy for CBS 8.
Crews are making progress against 2 fires burning in East County. Firefighters are still working to contain the Monte fire in Lakeside. It started Tuesday afternoon and has burned more than 1,000 acres with very little growth over the last few days. And just moments ago, we learned containment is now up to 50%, up from 35% previously today. Some evacuation orders remain in place as fire crews are expected to continue to battle that fire in hard-to-reach locations for at least 3 more days. And crews are gaining ground quickly on the Haywick fire, which is now 75% contained. It broke out yesterday afternoon in a rural neighborhood near El Cajon, triggering evacuation orders. It's burned more than 50 acres, and at least 1 firefighter was hurt. But as of this morning, all evacuation orders and warnings have been lifted.
A traffic alert for drivers heading through the Kearney Mesa area this weekend. All westbound lanes of State Route 52 between the 163 and the 805 will be closed all weekend for road work. The impacted lanes are in the area that you see highlighted in red there on your screen. That's a pretty wide swath, all westbound lanes of the 52 between those 2 major highways. This closure takes effect at 9 o'clock tonight. That's a little less than 3 hours from now. Lanes won't reopen until Monday at 5 a.m. Detour signs will be posted. Caltrans says residents and businesses in the area will likely hear construction noise and see a bunch of bright lights.
More fallout from the chaotic scene near the end of last night's Padres game against the Dodgers.
We'll explain still ahead. Plus, the new details we're learning about the city of San Diego's plans to further limit rec hours at local lakes.
And later, a hero's honor, the recognition for the men who rescued a swimmer bitten by a shark off San Diego's coast. That's coming up.
We had lots of sunshine in the forecast for today, and as we go into summer, we're also talking about the marine layer returning, and we're already starting to see that right there along the coast. We'll go ahead and take a look at your complete forecast coming up.